Hello everyone. أهلا بيكم في تعلم الإنجليزية. Learn English. New day and a new topic. And our topic today is still talking about the world around us. حلقة جديدة بتوبيك جديد، والتوبيك زي ما احنا متعودين ان هو بيتكلم في العالم اللي حوالينا. So now we're talking about the bigger world. And for today we're talking about our duties. النهارده التوبيك بتاعنا هيبقى على مسؤولياتنا وواجباتنا. So today we're talking about household chores. تعالوا مع بعض نبص بالتفصيل هنتعلم ايه. So the first thing that we're going to learn today is vocabulary. And for vocabulary, we're going to learn household chores. And we're going to learn about our duties. هنتعلم household chores, الواجبات المنزلية. And we're going to look at our duties, واجباتنا الشخصية تجاه our home. So we're also going to learn about grammar. لو بنتكلم على duties، الحاجة الأساسية اللي هتساعدني أتكلم على duties بتاعتي هي two main verbs أو two main things which are must and have to. ودول اللي بنسميهم model verbs of necessity or obligation. And we also have skills. And for our skills today, we're going to have reading skills. So let's start together as we used to. We're going to start with our brain teasers. So today we have a brain teaser which is a memory test. النهارده البرين teaser بتاعنا هيبقى memory test. And for those who don't remember the meaning of a brain teaser is something that helps you to think more in English. هي بتبقى زي puzzle أو بيبقى لعبة بتخليني أفكر أكتر وبتبدأ تأكتيفيت الإنجليش mentality بتاعتي، بتبدأ تأكتيفيت my English mind. So we're going to start with a puzzle. And this puzzle today is checking your memory. هنعمل اختبار لذاكرتنا. And we're going to see how much we remember. So we're going to look at this picture here. So take a look at the picture we have. Here we have a woman and a little girl who are sitting in the living room. So take a look for 10 seconds and try to remember as many details as possible. Try to remember every single part so we try to know if we change anything of the picture. نحاول نفتكر كل التفاصيل عشان لو أنا غيرت حاجة في البيكتشر بتاعتنا. So we have the lady, she's sitting on the couch, the girl on the floor, the two dogs. Remember the place of the television. Remember how many pictures we have on the wall. Remember the place of the cupboard and the place of the other picture on the wall. Remember the place of the carpet and the place of the table and what we have on the table. So focus with these things because I'm going to change them. So take a look. You have 10 seconds to remember everything in this picture. So concentrate with the woman and the girl and the small details that might be tricky. Done? And now there is no picture anymore. And I will leave you for 5 seconds just to try to remember everything. So now close your eyes, remember the picture. And now we have the new picture. Is it the same? So take a look. As we said, we had the details, the woman, the girl, the table, the dogs, all the details that we talked about before. So, are they still the same or do we have something different? So I will leave you for just 5 seconds to think about it. Is it the same picture or the picture is different? So, here is the first and second. One more time. Here is the first picture and here is the second picture. Is it the same? So what's different between both pictures? What have I changed? Did I change something here? Yes. Okay, so let's now look at the answers. So in the picture, what's different is that the girl is watching TV and in the second picture, no. And she's got two dogs and we have those dogs are eating the food. And the number of books, 4 books are on the table. And the boy is listening to music. These are the differences that we had from the first picture to the second one. And now it's time to start with the new idioms of the day. So for our idioms today, we have 2 idioms that are connected again to duties and household chores. The first one is not really an idiom, it's more like a proverb. And like we said before, a proverb is a wise saying. So we have the same idea in our culture, which is الأمثال. So a proverb is a saying, a wise saying that people say it after long experience, and all people use it in suitable situations. So the first one that we have is, never step over one duty to perform another. Never step over one duty to perform another. The meaning of this proverb is that if you have one duty, do not leave it to start a new one without finishing it. So the main point is finish what you're doing, complete your job before you start something else. So don't put a finger in every pie, like we say. So try to do one thing, finish it completely, and start the other. So never step over one duty to perform another. So never stop one duty that you have started, leave it and go start another one. So this is the meaning of our proverb. So for example, you can be studying for your school and then you want to start a new project with your friends, and then your teacher tells you, no, finish your homework first and then start the project. So never step over one duty to perform another. Or you are helping your mom at home and your dad comes and asks for help and you volunteer. It's like, okay, dad, I will help you. So you started something already, so your mom tells you, no, finish this first. So never step to perform, or never step over one duty to perform another. So finish what you started and then start a new thing. This is the first proverb that we have today. So the second one we have is not a proverb, it's another idiom. So the idiom that we have is called necessity is the mother of invention. Necessity is the mother of invention. So necessity is the mother of invention. We use this when we try to think outside the box, or when we do something that we didn't want to do just because we need it. So for example, your teacher is asking you to do a new project and you don't have resources, and then you take stuff from home, you recycle them so you can use them for your project. And when your teacher asks you, where did you come with that, or how did you do that? You can go and say, necessity is the mother of invention. So because I have to, or because I don't have a choice, I thought hard and came up with a solution. So necessity is the mother of invention means because I have to, or because I don't have a choice, I start coming up with solutions, or I think outside the box. So this is the second idiom that we have for today. So the first one was don't step over duty to perform another, and the second one that we have is necessity is the mother of invention. So both of them are talking about things that we have to do, things that we must do. So we're talking about obligations for both idioms and proverbs that we have discussed. Now it's time to start our first part, which is the vocabulary. Let's start together and let's look at vocabulary that can help us speak about household chores. Let's start. So when we speak about household chores, the meaning of chores is duties, things that I have to do. اللي هي الواجبات. So in any home or in any house, people who live in this house, they have duties towards each other and towards this house. So we all have things that we must do and we don't have to enjoy. الفكرة كلها ان انا ممكن اعمل حاجات كتير قوي ما بستمتعش بيها، بس هي واجبات عليا انا لازم اعملها. So let's look at the household chores that we have today and let's see whose duty is this? Who can do this in the house? So if we're talking about a family who are living together, so who will be responsible for this chore? So let's look, let's see what they should do and who can be responsible for it. So we're going to start with the words that can help us speak about these household chores. So as you see here, we have a family, so a father, a mother, and 2 kids or 2 children. So when we think of the house, let's think who might be responsible. The father, the mother, or the kids can do it. So let's start. The first thing that we have is do the dishes. Do the dishes. And we can call it do the dishes or do the washing up. So both are the same. Do the dishes, do the washing up. So let's think together. In our home or in any home, who might be responsible for that? Who can perform that duty? So the kids can do that. So the kids can do the dishes, or the mother can do the dishes, or the father can do the dishes. So this, anyone can do it. So this responsibility can be shared. So do the dishes is the first household chore. And we also have do the laundry. Do the laundry. Do the laundry is washing the clothes. So it's called do the laundry. Do the laundry. So is it responsibility for just one person or shared? So when we speak about do the laundry, it's usually a shared responsibility as well. And we have iron the clothes. Iron the clothes. And the O that we have is not a clear O. It's not iron, it's iron. Iron. Iron the clothes. Iron the clothes. And iron the clothes is to make them straight or make them look nice and neat. اللي هو نكوي الهدوم. So this is usually the responsibility of the mother or father. So children can't do this because it's not safe. So this is the responsibility of the parents. And we have fold the clothes. Fold. Fold the clothes. Fold the clothes. And this is to tidy the clothes up, to put it in your wardrobe. So نطبق الهدوم. It's called fold them. Fold. So folding the clothes can be a responsibility of one person or it's a shared responsibility. If we're talking about it, it's safe for the kids and the parents can do it. So this is a shared responsibility. So folding the clothes is a shared responsibility for everyone in the house. And we also have clean the windows. Clean the windows. So when we speak about clean the windows, is it safe for the children? No. So this is responsibility of adults. So that's why when we say clean the windows, it's not for young people. Clean the windows. And we have clean my room or clean the room. So clean my room is my responsibility. So it's not anyone's responsibility. If it's my room, it's my responsibility. So this is clean my room. And we have take out the trash. Take out the trash. Take out, take out, take out the trash. So take out the trash or take out the garbage, both are the same, which is taking the things outside, so taking the old stuff and the dirty stuff outside the home. So take out the trash. And it can be a shared responsibility, anyone can do it. And we have cut the grass or mow the lawn. Last time when we were talking about a house and the difference between a house and a flat. And we said that usually when we have a house, the house has a garden. So when we speak about the garden, who takes care of the garden? So in the garden we have grass. When we cut this grass, we can call it cut the grass, or the other term is mow. Mow means cut. And grass means lawn. So cut the grass or mow the lawn, which means the same. And the machine that we use to cut the grass is called the mower, which is the cutter. So mow the lawn, mow the lawn, mow the lawn, or cut the grass. And we have organize my toys or put away my toys, which is put everything in its place. So if we're talking about the toys, this is the responsibility of the kids. So it's the responsibility of the children, not the parents, because these are their own toys. So organizing them is the responsibility of the children. Obey my parents. Obey my parents. So these are the two things that I should do. They are not part of the household chores, but they are things that I am obliged to do, things that I have to do. حاجات إجبارية عليا لازم أعملها. So brush my teeth and obey my parents, which means أطيع والدي. So these are the two things that we must do in the home, but it's not part of the chores. Let's continue with the chores. We also have clean the bathroom, clean the bathroom. And we have vacuum the floor, vacuum the floor. So if we're talking about vacuum the floor, this is cleaning the floor using the vacuum cleaner or using the machine. الvacuum cleaner اللي هي المكنسة الكهربائية. So if I am cleaning the floor using the machine, it's called vacuum the floor. So we have many things or different ways that we can use to clean the floor. Like what? We also have mop the floor. Mop the floor. If we're talking about mop the floor, this is using water. So we have vacuum the floor using the machine and mop the floor using water. اللي هو أمسح الأرض. So we're talking about with water. And we also have sweep the floor. So we have vacuum, mop, or sweep. Three different things that we can, or three different ways that we can use to clean the floor. Sweep using the broom. البروم اللي هي المقشة. So sweep using the broom. Vacuum using the vacuum cleaner, which is the machine. Mop using water. We also have dust the furniture, dust the furniture. So dust the furniture, we are using the duster. So it's called dust the furniture. And we have cook the meals. Cook meals or cook the meals. And if we're talking about cooking, is this a shared responsibility or it's only for adults? So if we're talking about cooking, it's an adult responsibility because it's not safe again for kids. And we have set the table. Set the table. Setting the table means making the table ready for lunch or dinner or breakfast. So this is before eating, like putting the plates and putting the spoons and stuff. So before we eat, we set the table. So we make the table ready. And we have polish the furniture, polish the furniture. So polish the furniture means clean it well. Unlike dust the furniture is just removing the dust. بكده نكون اتكلمنا على أهم chores and the most important duties that we might have at home. Let's together do some practice for that. We have talked about the most important vocabulary that can help me speak about my duties and my chores, the things that I must do at home. Let's now start and do some practice for that. Okay, so we're going to look at the picture and we're going to choose the best word that describes the chore that we have here. So let's take a look at the first one. Here we have the girl and the girl is cleaning her room. When we clean the room, we have many different things, many things that we can do. So here she's putting the bed in a nice shape. So what do we call that? So we have three different options here. Make the sleep, do the bed, and make the bed. So here are the three options and let's choose the best one that describes what the girl is doing. So the girl here, when we speak about putting the bed in a nice shape or putting the bed nicely or setting your bed, this is called make make the bed. This is another one of the chores that we can talk about. So here we have make the bed. Make the bed. اللي هو أوضب سريري أو أرتب سريري. It's called make the bed, not do. So let's look at the next picture. We have the kids here who are doing something else, helping their father. So what's he doing? Let's choose. Dry the car, wash the car, or do the laundry. So which one is it? Dry, wash, or do the laundry? Let's look at the picture. So here the boy is helping his father wash the car. So he's washing the car. And this is another duty that we can add to our list. And we also have this girl here. And we have 3 different options. Do the shops, go shopping, or do the shopping. Which one do you think it is? So if we're talking about buying things, buying the important things for home, it's called go shopping, or do the shopping. So we can say this or we can say that. I can say I like to go shopping, or I like to do the shopping. Or I can say my household chores include going shopping or include doing the shopping. But do the shops? No. Let's look at the next picture and let's see the option that we have. So here we have the gentleman. He's in the garden. So what options do we have? We have mow the lawn, cut the grass, or sweep the grass. So which one do you think it is? When we speak about someone in the garden and when you clean your garden or when you set the grass straight, so it's called mow the lawn, or cut the grass. Both are fine. So I can mow the lawn or I can cut the grass, both work. Okay, and we have the girl here. Where is she? Okay, so she's in the bathroom. And the option we have is hoover, clean the laundry, or clean the bathroom. So hoover is the same meaning like vacuum the floor. We can say vacuum the floor or hoover. So which one is it? Exactly. So the girl is in the bathroom, so it's clean the bathroom. And here we have another chore for anyone who has a pet at home. If you have a pet dog, you do this. So let's look at the options. Get the dog, wash the dog, or walk the dog. Which option? Exactly. So here we're talking about walk the dog. When you take the dog outside daily, you walk him. So it's called walk the dog. And this is another chore that we can add to our list. And here we have mom, and she's in the kitchen. What do you think the chore is without looking at the options? Yes, so let's look at the options. We have cook, we have do the kitchen, and do the cooking. So here, the main option, the main choice is do the cooking. And we can also say cook. Cook works as well. So for the next one, we have the kids here, and we have put the table, lay the table, or set the table. So here we have 2 different options that can work. And we said before eating, we can lay the table or we can set the table as well. Both are fine. Okay, what about this picture? After eating, what's the chore that we have to do? So after we finish, let's look at the options. Clear the table, sweep the table, or clean the table. Which one is it? So after we finish eating, we clean the table. And let's look at the picture here. This boy is trying to dry, to dust, or to sweep. Which action is it? So here we're talking about dust. Dust the furniture. And for the next one, here we have, if you have plants at home, this is another duty that we can add to the list. So wash the plants, water the plants, or clean the plants. Which one do you think it is? If we're talking about putting water on the plants, so it's going to be water the plants. Water the plants. Nice. Okay, and let's look at the next one. So here we have clean the rubbish, sort out the bin, or sort out the rubbish. When we divide the glass alone and the other things alone, so what do we call this? We call it sort out the rubbish or sort out the trash. When we put everything in its basket or bin. So sort out the rubbish or sort out the trash. And here we have this boy. He's trying to do arts, do daily jobs, or make his daily jobs. So if we're talking about the daily jobs, it's do my job or do my daily job. And here, let's look at the options and this duty. Garden, make the gardening, or do the gardening. When we plant in the garden, so this is do the gardening. So if anybody has a garden with his house, in this case, we do the gardening. Okay, and another thing, another duty that is related to gardens, another thing that we can think of is do the washing up, dry the dishes, or clean the dishes, clear the dishes. So here we have do the washing up would work, but here this is after washing up. So this is dry the dishes. Okay, and again, if you have a pet, you can walk the pet. So you can walk your dog. And here she's putting food for the dog. So is it feed the dog, wash the dog, or walk the dog? If I put food or if I give food to my animal, it's feed. So feed the dog. And the last one that we have is again related if you have a pet. So here we have walk the dog, wash the dog, or feed the dog. So this time we're talking about washing the dog. So if you have a pet, you have different options and different chores, different responsibilities that you have to do for your pet. You need to feed it, wash it, and walk it. These are the three things that you can do for your pet. Now, we're going to look at our next part, which is grammar. What grammar can help me speak more about household chores? If we're talking about household chores, again, we're talking about responsibilities and obligations. So, what do you mean by responsibilities and obligations? Responsibilities و obligation اللي هي المسؤوليات والواجبات أو الإلزامات اللي عليا. So, if we're talking about this, we have two modal verbs that usually help me speak about this. So, the verbs that help me speak about this, a modal verb called must and another verb called have to. These two verbs are the main two verbs that can allow me speak about responsibilities. هم دول الاتنين verb اللي بيخلوني أقدر أتكلم عن responsibilities. حاجة أنا مضطر أعملها أو حاجة أنا لازم أعملها حتى لو مش باختياري. So, let's look at must and have to and see what are the differences and what are the main usage for each one of them. Okay, so if we're talking about must, to speak about must, we're talking about something that is a personal obligation. يعني إيه personal obligation؟ يعني حاجة internal obligation. It is my choice. حاجة أنا بختار أعملها وأنا شايف إن هي مهمة. So if I am talking about something that I choose to do it, that I choose to force myself, أنا بجبر نفسي عليه. So this is called must. So nobody told me to. It's not a rule. So by this, must is what we call it subjective. يعني must بتخضع للآراء الشخصية. What I feel is important and I need to do it is different from somebody else. For example, I can say, for me, I must wake up early. Nobody asked me to, nobody told me to, but I felt that this is important, so I choose to do it. So must is something that is very important. I force myself to do it, but not by anybody else. It's internal. So, like you are sitting with your friends and you look at your clock and you say, I must go home. In this case, no one called you, محدش اتصل بيك، محدش طلب منك تروح، مفيش أي حاجة، هو شعورك الشخصي بالمسؤولية هو اللي خلاك تاخد القرار ده. So it's called must. So must is my internal responsibility and internal obligation. So we can have somebody says, I must stop smoking. So who chose that? He himself. The person chose that. No doctor said, nobody forced him, but because he feels that this is the right thing, he does it. So this is the idea of must. So we use must if we're talking about things that are internally important. I choose to do it because I feel this is the right thing. Or when I say, you must visit us soon, I am putting the responsibility to the person because I feel it's important. He does it or he doesn't, it's up to him. There is no rule and there is no consequence. مفيش تبعات للقصة. هو ما جاش مش هعاقبه. But I am saying it's very important. And we also have, he must work harder. He must work harder. I see my friend who's not doing his best and I can say he must work harder. If he didn't work harder, nothing will happen. It's just my opinion that this is his responsibility. So no consequence for that. So in each of the above, the obligation is opinion or idea of the person speaking. So this is my opinion. That's why we said it's subjective. So it's not imposed from outside. It's not external obligation. مش حاجة rule أو حد بلغني بيها أو حد حط عليا force. So must, this is the personal opinion about the important things in life. I choose to do it because I feel it's the right thing. And it's my opinion for other people. They can do it. They can say no. It's up to them. Okay, so now let's look at the structure of the sentence. So if I'm talking about must, if I look at the structure of the sentence, let's take a look here. It's I must stop smoking, or you must visit us soon. So we have your subject and then must, and after it, it's usually the infinitive. Between must and the infinitive, no to. So I don't say you must to visit us. It's you must visit, you must go, you must play, you must do. So must here doesn't have to after it. Never put to after must. It's just must and the infinitive verb. And when we speak about must here, when we speak about our pronunciation for must is ending in a T here. Do you see this T? So if this T is followed by a consonant, we usually say it light or drop it. So we don't say must stop. It's must stop, must stop. Or must visit, must visit. So we do not stress the T when we say it. So if it's followed by a vowel, we clarify it. You must obey. Oh, must obey. But must visit, must talk, must try, must work. So the T is not stressed if we don't have a vowel. This is for must. So the first option that we talked about is must. And we have another option which is have to. So the other option that we have here, which is have to is not an eternal obligation. So this is not internal obligation at all. أنا عندي must حاجة أنا بختارها وبشوف إن هي important so I do it. On the other hand, we have to, which is a rule, or something that is important followed by a consequence. ليها تبعات, which means when I say to drive a car, you have to have a driving license. عشان أسوق عربية لازم يبقى معايا رخصة. If I don't have a driving license, I will be punished. So there is a consequence. Something bad would happen if I don't follow the rule. So it's not my choice. It's not that I say it's important to have license or tomorrow I will not have license, it's up to me. No, when I say have to is something that I don't have a choice. It's a rule or it's something that must be done and there is some sort of consequence. So when my teacher tells me you have to study, this means if I don't study, something bad would happen. Or when I say I have to study, so we have two options now. I must study because I am a good person. I have to study because someone told me study, you have an exam. So we have two different ideas. Must, because I want, and have to, I don't want. But if I don't do it, I will be punished. Something bad would happen. A consequence would be there. Let's look at the structure of have to. So have to can come in different tenses. So we can speak about have to in the past, and we can speak about it in present, future, so it can have different tenses. Unlike must is for the present. So here, if we're talking about past simple, if we're talking about have to in the past simple, it becomes had to work. So last week, I had to finish my homework. Or last week, I had to study for 4 different exams. So we're talking about something finished. So have to, when I put it to the past, it becomes had to. And if we're talking about the present simple, it has 2 different forms. Have and has, same like have and has that we know. If we're talking about I have to work, I have to study, I have to do my work. And if we're talking about he or she or it has, he or she or it has to. And if we're talking about the future, so for the future, I will have to. For the present continuous, she is or he is having to. Present perfect that we studied together before, again, have had to. Have is an auxiliary verb and the past of have is had. I have had to change a lot of things in my work. I have had to change a lot of things in my life. And if we're talking about any model, it's may have to, might have to do something. So the only thing that we need to concentrate with is have to in the present because it has 2 different forms. Have to do something and has to do something. Based on your subject, you're going to choose have to or has to. He has to. My father has to. My mother has to. But my family have to. Okay, let's now see the sentences and try to complete the sentences with must or have to depending on the meaning. Is it internal or external obligation? So let's start. I speak English well. I need it in my job. So if we're talking about the first one here, the first one, we're talking about something that I need in my job. It's not my choice now. It's the job requirement. So it's for the job, not for myself. I didn't choose. So if I didn't choose, it's I have to. I have to speak English well. I need it in my job. The second one, speak English well. I love it. So this is not because anybody wants me to. It's just because I love it. This is my personal opinion and personal choice. So in this case, I must. I must speak English well. I love it. So here we have my job. It's for my job. It's not my choice. The job needs it. I have to. It's for me. It's my choice. I love it. I must. Let's read the next one. Get up at 5 o'clock. I want to go fishing. So here, did anybody ask me to go fishing? No. Is fishing something that is fun? Yes. So if it's for fun and nobody asked me to, it's I must. I must get up early, or I must get up at 5. I want to go fishing. So let's look at the next one. He get up at 5. He commutes to work. So he takes the bus or he takes the train to work, which means that work is very far. In this case, waking up at 5 a.m. is it choice or obligation? So here we're talking about by force. He doesn't wake up early. He can't go to his job. His manager will be angry. So we're talking about consequences. If something has a consequence, in this case, it's has to. So because we're talking about he, it's he has to. Okay. Wear a suit. It was a formal party. I wear a suit. It was a formal party. And remember, here we're talking about something that already finished. So for a formal party, I choose my clothes, or it's a dress code I can't change. Here we're talking about something I can't change. It's the rule for the party. So in this case, we're talking about had to, because it's the past of have to. Here was, so we're talking about a past form. I wear a suit. I want to look good. So it is my choice because I am looking for good appearance. Nobody asked me to do anything and nobody required it. So in this case, I choice must. I must wear a suit. I want to look good. Okay, so the next one, follow the procedures. I don't want to be wrong. Procedures اللي هي الإجراءات أو الحاجات المتبعة. So follow the procedures. I don't want to be wrong. So here, following the procedure is a rule, or it's my choice because I don't want to be wrong. It's my choice because I don't want to feel that something is wrong. So in this case, it's must. I must follow the procedures. I don't want to be wrong. Follow the procedures. It's my duty. It's my duty. So in this case, we're talking about a duty, something by force. So if it's something by force, I have to. I have to follow the procedures. It's my duty. Earn money for the company. Earn money for the company. So I work for a company. Earn money for the company. Is it a choice? So it's I have to earn money for the company. It's not a choice. It's not something that I like. It's the company rule. I don't earn money. The company kicks me out. And the last one is earn a lot of money. I want to buy a house. So for earn a lot of money, it's must, because it's I want to buy a house. If I don't buy a house, nobody will punish me. No problem at all. So here we have talked about two different things that can help me speak about my duties and obligations for my house, or my duties and obligations in life in general. So we have must, that is something I feel it's important because it's the right thing. It is the correct option. And we have to, which is not a choice. It's something that is important because it's a rule, or because there is some sort of consequence that is based on it. هيبقى فيه تبعات للموضوع. هيبقى فيه رد فعل مش كويس ليه. So that's why when we speak, we need to think, did I choose it? So it's must. Did somebody else choose it for me, or is it a rule? In this case, it's going to be have to. So by this, we have talked today about household chores and the important things that we need to do in our house, and our responsibilities in the home, and other responsibilities for other people. And we have looked at grammar, which is must and have to. And we have looked at when to use must and when to use have to. So if you're talking about cleaning your room because you like it, it's I must clean it. Cleaning your room because your mom told you to, it's I have to. By this, we have reached the end of our episode. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.